It's Amanchu. Welcome back to Minecraft Bedrock vs. Java, where I play through both versions of the game and compare them. And you may not recognize where I am right now, because I've been playing Skyblock in my series, and this is clearly not Skyblock. No, it's not. I'm in my Java Edition version of a testbed world here, so it's kind of creative mode, so I can fly. Cool. But the next project I want to work on, that I really want to work on for Skyblock, is to make a drown farm. Before I do that, there's something I really need to address, and that's Piglin Bartering. I've got farms for gold in both the Bedrock Edition and Java Edition world, but I need to set up a system to barter with piglins that's going to be fast and efficient. And I'm showing off here in the testbed world how I've done it before. This is the setup that I've used in the past for bartering with piglins. So see, I have the piglin in there. There's a dispenser up here, which will drop gold ingots onto that soul sand, which is a little bit shorter than a full block, so the piglin will be able to see and get that gold ingot and pick it up and start doing a barter transaction. Once it's done inspecting the gold ingot, it will drop items that'll fall into this hopper. When there are items in the hopper, this comparator turns on, powers this block, this torch turns off, so that unpowers this block. This torch turns on, powering this block. Whoops. I forgot I was in creative mode. Well, technical difficulty there. Anyway, so what that means is, when items get dropped into this hopper, it will send a pulse to the dropper, and the dropper will activate and dispense another gold ingot, which the piglin will then pick up and start another bartering transaction. So it's a nice, efficient means of doing it. And all I have to do is push this button to dispense the first gold ingot, and it will start doing the transactions. There's a slight flaw in this design, though, and that is, if the piglin happens to drop something in the barter transaction that's too many items for the hopper to put into the chest before it completes the next transaction, which is about 6 seconds it takes to inspect the gold ingot, then the comparator here doesn't turn off between bartering operations, and then that means that this dispenser will, sorry, it's a dropper. This dropper will not drop another gold ingot, and everything stops, and I have to push the button again to restart it. Not a huge deal, but I think I can come up with a design that's a little better. So I'll go ahead and start things off in the Java Edition Skyblock with a time lapse of me building new bartering setup. Okay, it's done. So the idea of having droppers that drop the gold onto the soul sands, the same kind of principle, but I added a little bit of things to it. First of all, back here, we have an Athonian hopper clock. Same kind of thing that I built for the stone generator in Bedrock Edition, except in this case, the pistons are sticky pistons. They have to be for this to work. And I have a total of 18 items in here. I think that should be enough to make it cycle just frequently enough. And it will automatically just keep dumping gold ingots at about the right rate, so that just as soon as they finish examining one gold ingot, another one drops in. I just need to fill all of these with gold. Well, it's not exactly evenly, but it'll do. Now activate this thing. Hopefully this is working at the right speed. Let me get a better view here. It should take about 6 seconds to examine each one. Yeah, it's just about perfect. That's what I thought. So about 18 items. There's a mess of hoppers here that leads into a sorter. And I'm hoping this sorter works correctly, that I built it right. I'm hoping. Although, a lot of these hoppers for the sorters, I don't have them full yet. So I may not see stuff getting sorted in right away. There's 13 different items that are stackable that the piglins can give you. And then an additional 5 types of items that are not stackable. The unstackable ones, I have no way to sort them out, so they just end up over here. And you can see, like, potions of fire resistance, enchanted books of soul speed, and enchanted iron boots of soul speed. Those are some of the things that are not stackable that are going to end up over here. There we go, there's some gravel. I only had one piece of gravel to start with, so I can only put one thing in the sorter and see how the item sorters work. I have 4 just random sticks with a subliminal message in them. It's just something that's... it's a good idea to label it on an anvil so that there is no possibility of items like this ever ending up in the sorting system. And then whatever item you want to sort in this slot. Alright, I tried to distribute the gold as even as I could. I just have to sit here and wait for a while. The thing is that these hoppers can only process items so quickly. I don't know, it might be something like between 150 and 200 items a minute. And inevitably, because it's just a single line that it all feeds into from all 12 piglins, it's going to get backed up. And these chests here are likely to back up, as you can see. But I don't think it's ever going to get to the point where everything backs up so far that the chests fill up and the hoppers fill up and they're dropping stuff from the bartering that's just sitting on top of the hopper. I don't think it'll ever get that far. Unlike the Bedrock Edition version of this, which is going to have 1 piglin and a similar kind of sorting system, but yeah, stuff's going to get backed up big time. I just have to kind of hang out here for a while, wait for them to finish all their bartering, wait for all to get sorted, and see what kind of goodies I will get from this. One of the most important ones I'm looking forward to getting is more gravel, and I'm getting a bunch already. Once this is finished, I should have multiple stacks of the stuff. That is great. I want to make some more dirt and finish filling in the kind of the donut section, the wooden donut that I made. I want to finish filling that in with dirt so that I can have a nice grass field there. And I'll have enough gravel to do that. I might be able to make even some concrete potentially in the future if I can get more gravel. Alright, so I need to build a sorting system like this. In Bedrock Edition, it's going to be very similar to the design I made before. The only difference is it will have a sorting system with it. And now here in the Bedrock Edition Skyblock, in the Nether, I've made another bartering area over there. This one only involves a single piglin. I demonstrated this design in my previous series. We have a single piglin here. This is a dispenser, and this timer clock will activate the dispenser repeatedly, giving him gold ingots. It'll also activate this nether gold ore block on the sticky piston, and every time that moves, it aggroes the piston. He completes the barter transaction, and the dispenser gives him another gold ingot, and this will work very quickly. So quickly, in fact, that the hopper will get backed up with items. As you see, it's already backed up. Just as in the Java Edition version, I had a sorting system. This one's slightly different. As you can see, I'm using target blocks here, and I don't have any repeaters. The repeaters seem to be unreliable for a sorting system in Bedrock Edition. I'm hoping this works a little bit better. You can kind of see the torches flashing as items are getting sifted into certain chests. Already I've gone through all those gold ingots, and there's just a bunch of stuff sitting there on the hopper. Hopefully the hopper will sort out all that stuff before 5 minutes pass and it despawns. But, you know, I've been doing this already and running this for a little while and turning it off, waiting for the hopper to load everything in, and then running it again for a little while. While in theory this works faster than the Java Edition version with 12 piglins, the sorter doesn't work any faster, so I have to live with that. Anyway, that is the Piglin Bartering system dealt with. I now have plenty of potions of fire resistance and other non-sortable items. I've sifted through some of the stuff already, and I kind of have to manually do this, but I can go on the grindstone and say, well, let's just disenchant that. And throw that stuff in the smelter. There we go. The gravel, of course, is the real prize. That's the stuff that I want a lot of to make coarse dirt with and convert that into dirt. And yeah, I got a lot of that. That's going to be great. I'll just wait around here for this stuff to finish sorting, and then I'll take the stuff I need back to the overworld. And I have to go back to the Java Edition Skyblock and start working on the real project I wanted to do today, which is to make a drowned farm. Alright, so now back in Java Edition Skyblock, I'm ready to start building the drowned farm. And this is something I haven't built before. And there's kind of a reason why I've never built a drowned farm before. There's not much point to it, usually. Drowned are a way to get copper, because they do drop copper ingots. And in this Java Edition version of Skyblock, they also drop clay. So I can use a drowned farm as a way to provide a renewable source of clay, which I can smelt into a renewable source of terracotta. I'm going to need a few materials to build this thing. But the point of this platform here was I kind of inadvertently found an ocean biome when I was trying to get down to this geode for the first time. And then I used the debug menu to kind of map out where there's an ocean biome. So these warp plank slabs are either ocean or deep ocean. The dark oak slabs here represent either stony shore or beach or mountain. Something that isn't ocean. And I mapped out a really huge area here that I don't need nearly this much space to build the thing. But I think I'll start this off with a building montage. You remember how I said I never built a drone farm before? If you have yourself built a drone farm before and you're watching this video, you were probably wondering, is he going to figure out that he's doing it wrong? I figured it out, eventually. So you'll notice that I built 2 of these giant spawning tanks. The first one I built was in an ocean biome. And don't do that. If you're going to build a drone farm, don't build it in an ocean biome. It doesn't work. You get terrible spawning rates in an ocean biome. But conveniently enough, right over here on the other side of the geode, there's a river biome, and drones spawn much more prolifically in the river biome, as you can see behind me. It's still not huge spawning rates, but it's a lot better than the ocean one. So this one's just about useless, although I did intentionally make the floor of that spawning tank stone so that I could get potentially axolotls, and I am getting I am getting lots of axolotls from the spawning tank, and I'm getting a lot of glowing sacks from glow squid. You can see I have some clay and a nautilus shell and a couple copper ingots from this farm that's been running for a number of hours, but over here this has been going for a few minutes. And I have already more clay, more copper, and a trident that's enchanted with impaling, no less. That's pretty darn good. So this farm gets me a renewable source of copper and clay, and the clay balls I can convert into clay blocks and smelt those into terracotta. So now I have a renewable source of terracotta. That's pretty good. I'm going to go back into the Bedrock Edition version of Skyblock that I'm playing with and make a drown farm there. Even though there isn't a lot of point to making it in the Bedrock Edition version. I'm not going to get the clay from it. But the way I have to build it in the Bedrock Edition Skyblock is going to require using a different technique than this big spawning platform over an ocean or river biome. It's got to be river. Do river biome. I can't do that in Bedrock Edition. And I'll show you how I go about doing it. Alright, and I'm back in the Bedrock Edition version of Skyblock. And here I have special challenges if I want to make a drowned farm, because I don't have the debug screen to see what biome I'm in. There is no way for me to find a river or ocean biome, even if there is one, which there may not be. But there's another way that I can make drowned. If a regular zombie has its head in water for 30 seconds, it starts to turn into a drowned, and then after another 15 seconds, it becomes a drowned. So I can, you see I'm standing here on top of what is the zombie spawner. Cut this away a little bit here. There's a zombie spawner. I can use this to make a drown farm. And this also gives me an opportunity to tear all this down and rebuild the structure using, well, at least a color palette that doesn't clash as badly as before. Now, obviously, this Bedrock Edition Skyblock doesn't have the data pack that the Java Edition one does, so I'm not going to get clay from drowned here. I'm also not going to get tridents. Now, normally the odds of a drowned spawning with a trident is significantly higher in Bedrock Edition than in Java Edition. And the odds of it actually dropping the trident when you kill it, if it has one, is significantly higher in Bedrock Edition. However, zombies that are converted into drowned never have tridents. So I cannot get tridents from this farm. Okay, so the spawning area is the same as before. Now comes the tricky part. To make a pit for them to fall into. I think it should be there. I think I want to go down 5 blocks. Yeah, piece of cake. I'm a little nervous about this. I'm always nervous about using these water pools for elevators. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That seems good. This pit may seem a little far down, but there's a reason for making it this far down. There is a cap, a limit on how many zombies will spawn in from a spawner. I think if there's more than 6, or if there's 6 or more zombies, the spawner will not spawn in more. But those zombies have to be within a 16 by 10 by 16 range. So up and down, vertically 10 block range. If I'm down, probably about 7 blocks from the spawner now, the zombies that are hanging out down here, turning into drown, will not count against that cap. So more can keep spawning in and keep coming down here, which is good because it takes in total about 45 seconds for the zombies to turn into drowned. And during that time, I won't be getting more zombies spawning in. That looks perfect. And I need slabs up here. There. There, that's just right. Okay. Now. Block that off. And I can just put some finishing touches on the outside of it, and I think it's good. I think we're good. Let's do it. Why can't I hit that from here? There we go. Get out. Okay. Now the drown should sink right down here because they sink in water. I think. There they are. Yep. They're down there. They should start to convert into drowned. And while they're sitting there converting into drowned, more zombies should spawn in. And I think they are. They're coming. And in less than a minute, I should start seeing them turning into drowned. Because I have this water stream going all the way down to the slabs that they're standing on, even the baby zombies will turn into drowned. Yep, you see they're starting to convert into drowned. There's one reason it's good to not have sweeping edge, because I can just swing specifically at the drowned if I want to. Or I could just sit here for a while and let them build up. That's another thing about these. I believe that when the zombies are carrying items, like they're wearing armor or carrying a sword or something like that, and they convert into a drown, they'll drop all that armor and stuff, and that should end up in the chest too. But like I said, I'm not going to see tridents. I believe in the Bedrock Edition version of this, when zombies convert into drown, they might end up with a Nautilus shell, but definitely not with a trident. Alright, let me just do some finishing touches around the outside, and then I can AFK here for a while and see how many zombies I get. Or drowned, actually. See how many drowned I get. Alright, so it's been a few minutes, and there's a lot of drowned in here. A lot of drowned. And I do notice I have not killed any of these drowned, and yet I have all these drops just from them converting into drowned and dropping all the stuff they're carrying. Now just go ahead and kill all these guys with my looting sword. In theory, I should get Nautilus shells and copper ingots, but I'm not really sure. With this version of Skyblock and Bedrock Edition, I'm not really sure what I'm going to get here. Nothing would surprise me. Well, I guess this is as good as time as any to come clean and admit that this version of Skyblock is using a older version of Minecraft. It's a earlier 1.16 version, which means I don't have any of the most current update changes. So the drowned are actually dropping gold ingots instead of copper ingots. I did get a fishing rod. Those are exceedingly rare in Bedrock Edition, much more common in Java Edition, and I am getting Nautilus shells. But yeah, so I'm not going to get any of the 1.17 stuff. Even from the Wandering Trader, I'm not going to get pointed dripstone. But because of that, it means this drowned farm in Bedrock Edition Skyblock is really not useful to me. No copper, no clay. I'm getting a little bit of gold, but honestly, I could get a lot more gold than that from the gold farm. But it's interesting to see an alternate way to make a drown farm. And if you are using the most current update for Minecraft, the 1.17 update, you can get copper from this. Unfortunately, no tridents. So that's it. And I have to say, this looks a little bit better than the old farm. Just from the color palette, it looks a little better. I've now constructed a drown farm in both the Java Edition and Bedrock Edition Skyblock, and I've showed 2 different ways to do it. And if you made it this far in this video, you probably like what you saw, so click on the like button. And if you want to see more videos like this, subscribe to the channel. I don't know what I'm going to do next time. I think I'm getting to a point now where there are some things in the Java Edition version of Skyblock that I want to do that are just not going to be possible to do in the Bedrock Edition version. And so I might be focused more on Java Edition Skyblock for the next video. I have another farm in mind for what I want to make next, and once it's done, I'll be able to make some things that are so basic, so simple in regular Minecraft, but so much work to do in Skyblock. Check that out next time on Amon Chooses Minecraft, Java vs. Bedrock.